year 1936. A man in regal robes stood alone before the League of Nations. His eyes calm, his voice measured, but every word he spoke burned with truth. It is us today. It will be you tomorrow. His name was Haile Selassie, the Emperor of Ethiopia, and the last voice of Africa still standing free. Ethiopia was one of the only African nations never colonized. When European powers sliced the continent with steel and ink, Ethiopia fought and won at Adwa. But in 1935, the empire of fascist Italy came again. Not with soldiers alone, but with gas, planes, and the cruel weight of modern war. Haile Selassie led his nation against the invasion. The highlands rang with the cries of patriots. Spears clashed with tanks. Villages were bombed. Children were burned. And the world stayed silent. So the emperor crossed oceans, traveled to Geneva, and faced the League of Nations, a room full of men in suits who had promised peace. I, Haile Selassie, come before you as the voice of a people dying. He spoke in French, calmly, but his words echoed across the marble hall like thunder. You let the aggressor come. You watched them drop poison from the skies. If you do not act, you are not only killing Ethiopia, you are destroying the world. They applauded, politely. Then they turned away. Italy annexed Ethiopia. Selassie went into exile, and the League collapsed into shame. 3 years later, World War II began, but Haile Selassie never stopped fighting. From exile, he stirred resistance. The Ethiopian patriots never laid down their arms. They hid in caves, fought in forests, prayed with rifles in hand. In 1941, with British help, Haile Selassie returned to his capital, Addis Ababa, not as a ruler, but as a symbol, a king who kept his crown through faith and fire. His life didn't end in triumph. In his final years, his people rose up against him. His rule, once divine, was seen by some as distant. In 1974, he was deposed. A year later, he was gone. Some say he was murdered. Others say he was never truly mortal. To the Rastafari, he is still a prophet. To Africa, he remains a lion, one who roared while others bowed. In a world drunk on war and power, he warned us. Before Auschwitz, before Hiroshima, before the cities burned, he stood, alone, and spoke to empires. If this story stirred something in you, like, share, and subscribe to the Unnamed legacy, because too many voices were silenced, but not forgotten.